All right, welcome to our bi-monthly Eastside Wrap meeting. It's great to see you all. Liz Stotts from the city is currently on a Zoom call with the county's Continuum of Care Homelessness Coalition, and Barbara Anderson is out of the office, I think, in Costa Rica. So we'll have to hear from her when she gets back, but we may have a little bit of a smaller group today. Just a couple general announcements before we get started. Just a reminder, I try and keep this in front of you all every once in a while around the different outreach schedules that each of our service provider partners follow. So each of them has a different route and different timing that they are traversing each week on the east side, but of course they also respond to urgent needs as they arise as well. And then one calendar announcement for you all. We are going to do our next monthly neighborhood walk on the east side. And because we've had so much discussion about this lower east side region, we wanted to focus on that area. And so this will be on Thursday, the 15th of June at 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. And we're usually joined by the mayor and the police chief as well. We'll see if we're able to get them this time. And we'll be meeting at the Cabrillo ball field, but specifically on Milpas Street on the sidewalk there. And then we'll be walking up, and maybe one of the groups will go more towards Path and Cacique Street, and one group may head over towards Dwight Murphy. But the main purposes of this are to visit those high impact zones, get eyes on them, talk with community members, and then also make sure that businesses in the area are aware of what resources exist for them and who they should be calling in case any impact affect them. So we encourage you to join us, especially since you all are the East Side eyes and ears on the ground. We also still have these ongoing cleanups with Caltrans and Union Pacific Railroad happening along the Highway 101 corridor. And so people throughout the region, all throughout South Coast are currently shuffling around, I should say. And so we have City Net working closely with Caltrans to try and do outreach to these individuals. But we also just know some people are just going to move to a different spot, and then we will have to find them where they are now. I see Sarai on the call, or maybe Al, if one of you is able to just share a quick update about that, about what's going on. Looks like you're still muted. I'm not sure if either of you is trying to share, Al or Sarai.
Hi, this is Sarai. I just wanted to update. SERF has been focusing on checking in on our clients at Path and the railroad area. We've been conducting outreach and kind of offering folks shelter, and yeah.
Do you have any specific updates from all the UPRR and Caltrans cleanups that have been happening? Sorry.
Well, hey, this is Al. Good morning, everyone. I got a TD over here at my property right now. I had a physical altercation going on, so I'm trying to bounce back and forth. But while I do have a second, so the UPR clearings, those are done. Like I said, I actually would like to see if there's been more activity that was noticing faces since well, last week they were.
Oh, your audio is cutting in and out a little bit. I'm sorry. Are you able to?
Let me see. Can you hear me any better?
Yeah, it's fine now.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so the UPR clearings are done. We're just continuing just to check in with the areas that we have, specifically the rescue mission in that area, along with the Cacique waterfront and Milpas. But I actually wanted to bring it to the table as far as from the community, if there's been any, if they've seen any new faces, or they feel that individuals have been coming from the tracks from that clearing onto city properties or in front of businesses or in the community. Because I'd like to get a little bit more. I haven't heard too much from that. What I have had is found out that some of these encampments after UPR left, they kind of went back, which is a natural thing when there's not enough shelter available. All our beds are full right now. So all our surf beds, our Goleta beds, our city beds. So we have a total of 22 beds available, which are all filled up right now. One good thing out of this clearing that came out of it was the fact that we were able to get 3 people into Hedges. So I'm very thankful for Good Samaritan and Hedges being able to open up. We filled up the beds at Path, and many belongings, they were able to get into there because the amount of belongings that they had. So, which is a hurdle many times for our case managers, because, understandable that many of these individuals are attached to a lot of their belongings, right? So they are going back. We are able to continue providing the service and outreach with them. And we haven't got well, from my understanding, I haven't got any bad feedback from our clients. Very thankful for it. But that was one thing with me. I decided when this happened to try to keep
Sorry, Al, we're losing you again. We just lost you in the last couple sentences.
I have PD at the door. I'm jump off for a second. I'll be back.
Okay, we'll circle back to you. Thanks, Al. In the meantime, why don't we go to Anais? Just any updates from Good Samaritan on the east side?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Updates would just be we are continuously out there really working on document readiness right now. We were able to get someone into Hedges recently. We've offered a shelter, either it's to Path or Rescue Mission along the way. Sometimes our clients accept those offers and sometimes they decline. So just really navigating that and building rapport. We have had a lot of transports to like the DMV, social services, urgent care, some stabilization center clients that accepted that. I recently found a missing female and I was able to take her to Cottage, get her situated medically, and then we transported her to Santa Maria to our safe house. So that was a really big win for us. Just, keeps our teams are extremely busy, really fulcruming out there. Just trying to do the best that we can.
Thanks, Anais. And Odin, if you can share from Path, that would be great.
Gladly. Hi, everyone. My name is Odin. I'm the outreach specialist for Path Santa Barbara. And for the past few weeks, it's been pretty heavy with regards to case management. One of my clients was awarded a housing voucher. So right now I've just been collaborating with Good Sam, both the diversion team and the rapid rehousing team, to secure some kind of rental deposit and some other rental assistance so that some kind of a housing navigator to help her, find a place that's both safe and, within her means. It was a long time coming for this client. I mean, when I found her, she was, sleeping in her car. Most of the windows were pretty busted up. A lot of thefts, going through the throes of substance abuse. But now, after getting clean and sober, reuniting with, her adult children, getting her first credit card. So now that her credit score goes from like double digits of 37 up to 600 and something. Now it's looking pretty optimistic. So we've got 60 days now to just find some kind of apartment for her. So I've been scrambling all over the place looking for something. Another one of my clients was a little bit of a medical emergency. So we had to go down to Cottage Hospital for a little spinal injury. So she's being treated then over there. Been hitting the same beats as normal, hitting Cacique down to the waterfront, and then just the south part of Milpas. And I just enrolled a good 4 new individuals onto my caseload after a few exits. 2 of them from Dwight Murphy, 2 of them living in their vehicles, 1 person from Cacique after a long time of rapport building, and then another one from Yananawi. Unfortunately, she was just a victim of a recent rent eviction, not from the ones from Isla Vista, but just just, unfortunate circumstances. So, just I had to extend my help out as much as I can over there, because when someone falls into homelessness, it's so hard to just go, it's so easy for someone to go down to that downward spiral. So like catching them as early as we can, getting them connected to resources immediately is so crucial, especially for someone in their 70s. So just trying to do what I can there. She's still a little bit anxious right now, especially, dealing with this whole new world that she's been, thrown into. So we're just doing what we can to, soften the blow and just make sure that she's at least stable for the moment. Connected one of my elderly clients to rapid rehousing. Another one of my clients, she was not necessarily homeless, but at risk. So we connected her to some rapid rehousing rental assistance, just the last little bit before the fiscal year ended. And now, for at least for the month, she's stable. So now we're looking to find some kind of long-term rental subsidy for her so that she can stay there in her apartment. But with regards to outreach updates, it's been a little bit different. There's been a few individuals, new individuals over this way that came in as a result from the clearings, but I talked to them one time and then they just kind of vanished, disappeared. But there's still, the mainstays that are in and around the area that I make constant contact with. So I touched base with CityNet last Tuesday to reprioritize the east side. So now we have 2 individuals from the high priority list moving downwards because of some good news, and 2 individuals moving upwards, both of whom are pretty visible on the Cacique Street area. So now we're going to focus all of our efforts to try and get them more support and, try and get them off the street essentially.
Thanks, Odin, and appreciate all your efforts, especially on that Cacique area. Commander Katsapis, since you're on the call as well, would you be willing to share an update around police activity on the east side regarding homelessness in recent weeks?
Sure. I actually don't have much of an update. Things are relatively status quo, and our general patrol and also specialized team deployments remain the same as they have in the past few months. One thing I will update on is in July, we're going to be transitioning to a new deployment schedule that's going to allow for more officers to be deployed at hours which have higher call for service volumes historically. I think this is going to be a good move in providing extra resources out in the field during busier times of day. So that's going to be coming in July. And then I think one other thing I'll brief on will be that our community action team, known as our CAT team, which does a lot of work surrounding mental health and homelessness, was nominated and received the Gary Award for 2022, which is the most prestigious award in law enforcement for the county. And that was for superior performance. And a lot of that has to do with their partnerships with partners on this call and a lot of work we're doing collectively within the community. So those are the updates I have.
Congrats to you and your team. That's really cool. Just to circle back, Odin, there's a question in the chat about what you meant around, oh, it looks like you responded in the chat. Will you just verbalize that for everybody?
Sure thing. So we have an East Side priority list that has basically everyone's name on the East Side. Usually when someone moves up on the priority list, it means we got a lot more calls about that individual, or we see them physically deteriorating. They're getting worse and worse on the street, and they need to have that constant contact. Otherwise, if they move down on the list, that means usually they're connected with services or housed, or they move out of the area. So any of those things, just to, so that we're not, focusing efforts on the wrong places, and we're keeping an eye on the individuals who are most vulnerable.
Yeah, that's a really good. That's a really good clarification. And that's what, when we end the call at 10:30 each week, that's when we talk about that list specifically. So we go through those priority individuals. All right, at this point in the meeting, I just want to open it up for community members to share concerns or questions. Hey, Tino, go ahead.
Thanks, Landon. Nice job, Charlie. Just want to say, big shout out to you. I know that takes a lot of work and communication, and really glad to see that you're moving forward. I do have a request though, Charlie. Last week when we had the community meeting at the Eastside Library, when I pulled up, there was an individual passed out right in the parking stall. And I tried to wake him and he just wouldn't move. So of course I called it in. But there's also been other times I've been down there and it seems like people are frequently moving back to that park area and and around the school. So I just wanted to alert you to that new development.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again on this call because I think it's relevant to what you're speaking to, Tino. But whenever you see like ongoing community concern issues, those are really important to get to me. So if it's not like an immediate case, obviously you did the right thing in calling that one in. But if you see like repeat issues or problems in certain areas, please feel free to email or call and let me know about that, or relay it during one of these wraps. Perfect time to do it. And then what we've been doing is we've been sending those out as focused area patrols, which basically means we generate an internal call for service for a problematic area with the goal to be to go out proactively and respond to it to address community concerns. It also gives us a way to track that so that if you were to ever come back and say, hey, I had this concern come up a month ago, did you guys ever do anything with it? I'm able to look in our system and pull stats that show, yeah, we went out there on these times and dates and here's what we in fact did. So thanks for that. And then for anybody on this call or anybody in the community, always feel free to let us know if there's problematic areas, and we track those now as focused areas so that we can report back just like this.
Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate that.
You got it.
This is not on the east side, but as you probably well know, up there on Victoria and Santa Barbara streets, people are still congregating around that area in the parking lot. As you go into the county entrance, there's people camped out there. I've reported that too. But it's just something to keep in mind because your station is right close to that area.
Sure. Yeah. So most definitely. And then what I'll do after this call and what I do after most of our calls is I'll take any info I get and I send an email to that community action team and ask them for specific responses to those areas.
Well, I'll be giving you a call, Charlie.
What's that?
I got an area for you.
And Commander Katsapas, there's a request in the chat if you're willing to share your contact info.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put that in right now.
I think I interrupted someone.
Oh, it was just me, Landon. I was going to say exactly what you said.
Oh, great. Liz. I don't hear you, Liz. It looks like you're unmuted, but I still can't hear any audio. No, still no. Oh, wait, maybe it's working now.
Now?
Try again. Yes, it's good.
Okay, cool. I don't have an issue to bring up. I just wanted to introduce myself. I just came on board this week as the new regional director over here at PATH. So you will see me popping into a lot of meetings to just try to get to know everybody better and get a good understanding of all the things that we're out there doing. So hello, everyone.
Thank you, Liz. Appreciate that. So are you stationed here at the Santa Barbara location?
Yes, I am.
Great.
Some of you may know me from the county education office and Partners in Education where I was previously.
Just moving from one hot button issue to another, I see.
Liz, would you be able to put your contact info? I would love to get together with you. And
yes, I will.
Thank you.
So in the pause, if you don't mind me jumping in.
Please.
So the individual that I reported last summer has moved back to now the vacant 7-Eleven. I think he and a friend, the fencing that's been placed around the 7-Eleven can now at the back be opened and closed and moved. And I've sent Al a couple of pictures, and Al was like, well, when are they there? And I'm like, I don't really know because I don't have a direct view. I've just seen him and I've seen him go in and there's a door down, and he's been kind of in the area. He and a friend, he was a, same brown jacket. So 7-Eleven put up a protective fencing to help him camp in the back on the Gutierrez side. So that's ongoing. The fencing needs to be fixed. And Liz, glad to have you. You're going to hear me complain a lot about what's going on in the area around Path. There continues to be congregating, blocking the sidewalks, lying on the sidewalks, exchange of all kinds of interesting things. And it wasn't like that pre-Path, and I continue to see it as unacceptable. Seems to be this bicycle ring thing going on and all of that. So I hope you will rise to the challenge, step up and clean up some of the problem behaviors that are occurring around Path. So there's that, and I'm going to use the encampment link, but I want to let you know that on Quarantina and Gutierrez, but on Quarantina next to the, I don't know what you call it, like a recycling place. There's a collection of things just between the sidewalk and the road where somebody has, I don't know if they're camping or storing or what they're doing, but I passed it. I meant to send pictures and didn't get around to it yet. So that's what I got.
Thank you, Natasha. I appreciate you reporting that. Can I ask the 7-Eleven individual, that's the same one that was at the 7-Eleven previously?
Yeah, I had an incident where I was taking pictures and he threatened and stalked me. So Charlie was kind enough to tell me what to do and navigate me through that. So he's back, and it's just like right across the street from my house almost. And so it's, I feel uncomfortable. And I keep, every time I see him in the neighborhood, I'll find a different direction. I'll go somewhere else, and to know that he's camped out there now, and that it's a little more permanent than what it was before, and not to have the 7-Eleven management take care of it is unsettling.
All right, thank you. Thanks for keeping us updated on that.
Thanks for taking care of it.
That reminded me too, we did invite the staff from the Postal Service office across the street on Cacique there. So we're hopeful that at some point they may be able to join us as well.
Yeah, that'd be great if they do. Because it just struck me because I've been walking by that post office to get to my PO box since they opened it. So to watch, this beautiful green shrubbery and trees and everything right by the building come down because they just can't get rid of the people camping on their property. We're sacrificing beauty, we're sacrificing green, we're sacrificing trees, and it makes me feel sad. And I know it's difficult, I know it's impossible, and it is still, I still feel sad about the entire situation. And I don't think they know how to deal with some of it, and they need to. So I'm glad you invited them. Thanks, Landon.
Thanks, Natasha. Still have a couple more minutes. Is there anyone else who wants to share anything?
This is Susie. I just wanted to highlight again that, there's definitely the bicycle ring operation going on and the drug use, on a daily basis. So I've involved our safety team. So I have them scooting people off in front of our building because we're doing a lot of hiring and again, that presence is disturbing for new hires coming in because they have their training and orientation at our building at Cazique. So just curious though, maybe Charlie, you can speak to the bicycle activity. I mean, I see the certain individuals with different bikes and, you know, are we curbing that in any way?
It's actually the first time I've heard of it. So, and Chris Payne, keep in mind, I'm not on the street like the team is. And so a lot of times some of this stuff these are issues they're aware of that maybe I'm not, but I'll double check on it. But describe to me what exactly you're seeing, and what I'll do is I'll follow up and I can reach out to you independently with a response.
Yeah, I can send you an email. And we have pictures. I mean, it's really obvious on what's going on. There's a lot of, you can tell there's a lot of theft to probably support the drug habit that we're seeing, you know, the activity going on.
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah. Why don't you send me an email with some details on that? I'll follow up and get back to you. And then at our next Eastside wrap, I can let everybody know about that problem if it is one and what we're doing to address it.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Susie. Anything else before we wrap up?
Just a suggestion. Is there any chance that the city might be able to plant cactus or succulent around the areas, post office, I would say, and on the side there, or Caltrans, if they have the wherewithal? It's water resistant, it looks good, and it might deter people from camping there. I know the outreach is being done, but you know, there also has to be the stick at some point, and that might be just a natural way to approach it. Just a suggestion.
And fertilizer, maybe.
Real quick, I am available. I'm not, sorry, I had to jump off for one real quick. If there was any questions or anything, I do have a little bit more to update for everyone if
Yeah.
you do have the time, Landon.
Yeah, go ahead, Al. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so we've been working closely with Dwight and Joelle with the city. There's on the Haley Street where there's a couple encampments that are going to be getting cleared. So we've been connecting with the individuals there after, you know, posting, making sure they're aware of when the area is going to be getting cleared, offering shelter, and we have been in contact with the rescue mission to see bed availability there. They wasn't interested in rescue mission, possibly willing to go into Salvation Army. So we're going to continue working on that and checking that out. Our team is going to plan to set up an appointment and meet them there around 1 p.m. And then we also have an individual that it looks like we might be getting relocated. So we'll be probably purchasing the ticket for them to be able to relocate. So that is always something good to be able to reconnect them with friends and family. And this is someone that's on the east side, people familiar with them around that area and with Pat. We've been going through the East Beach. I connected with Joelle this week. It looks like, you know, that was one area that we, you know, seems like it's been a little bit more busy than we would like. So we have a big connected there. One thing I'm let Joelle know once they get some specific areas for us. So anytime you guys have any concerns, the more specific, the better. So for example, we do the waterfront on Wednesdays, but for the next few weeks, just to try to help out in the community, we're going to be adding a Tuesday and Thursday onto those areas. I'm going to get back the times, whether it'll be like a Tuesday, we'll go from like a 10 to 12, a little bit earlier, or even earlier than that, like on a Thursday, go in the afternoon between like a 1 and 3, besides our usual Wednesday. So those are the type of things that we're trying to do to help make a difference in higher volume areas of concern right now. So when those are brought to the community or myself or the city or PD and they get over to us, then I always want to be able to change up in some of our workflows to be able to add some extra support in those areas. And for right now, like I said, we're continuing to work on our clients, getting document ready, preparing them for the upcoming property opening, and being able to apply. So on the 5th, in the morning of the 5th, my team, we're going to just get some coffee and bagels and everything, and I'm going to keep them in the office, and we're just going to apply all our clients for the new property that's coming up for the City Housing Authority. And I'm very happy to, it's sad, but I'm very happy to say one of my staff members that actually works on our supportive services property actually works here with me at El Carrillo. He'll be leaving us, but all I do is can support him, and I'm so happy for him because he is going to be the property manager for that site coming up. So I have an amazing staff, so I'm very thankful. But like I tell my staff and even the community, when they see the great employees and workers and the work that they're able to do, anytime they want to, they want to pick them out for something better, if there's an opportunity. And so I'll be losing one of them, but they'll be very close to us. And I'm looking forward to that. I think I had a question right there. Oh, the site, Veracruz Village. It's right there on Coda Street, where they have the trapeze right there on the side of where they have the trapeze. I guess people knew it as Needles Park before, but that property they're building right there, that waiting list is going to be opening up on the 5th. So we're going to have a nice breakfast and application set up for all of our clients to get on those waiting lists. But that's all for me, Landon.
Thanks, Al. And maybe next meeting, I'll bring up the list of all the different housing and transitional housing programs that are going to be opening up within this year, because there's quite a few. So we do expect that there will be a good number of individuals that will be able to exit street level homelessness over the course of the year. And I'm going to post a link to a KEYT article about Veracruz Village, because they are soliciting furniture for individuals that will be moving in there.
And actually, that would be a good time, Landon, just off of that real quick. I'm sorry. If we're able to put something together, because I know with multiple agencies, and I know with us, when we've been housing a good amount of people lately, I'm very thankful for it. But some making it home kits, maybe from our community. I know Path was getting stuff together. I know you guys have done that. We try to put something together, but as just a community together, trying to get some, making it home, because it makes a huge difference. And funding resources are, all, hard to find at the time. Everybody getting $50, $100 packages, that makes a huge difference.
So Al, do you have like a guide of what would be included in that, so community members could create something like that, or is it just donations to the CityNet?
Actually, let me put something together in our next meeting. I can kind of have a list of things that would be, good, and a simple 99-cent store run, right? Or Dollar Tree run, real realistic, where they're able to get some, spoons, forks, pots, little pans, stuff like that. Is a lot of essential stuff to make it home, to really help them feel at home, because that's a big area I see with myself here at the property. Like when they move in, and it's kind of like, luckily we provide a bed and a toaster oven and a microwave, and some basic essentials. But other than that, it's like just an open space of just echoing, right, when they first walk in the door. And that when you're coming from an area of survival, trying to just, make it through the days, whether you're coming from the street or in a shelter, and the amount of years, that's not the norm for them. And many times that can lead to a depression, to be honest with you, because I've seen it, and I've had conversations recently with some of my new tenants here, where they're just sitting there and they don't know what to do. And the next thing they do is either invite people over, which sometimes causes some ruckus like I just had, or secondly, they're going just to hang out in the spots that, we have community concerns about when now they're housed, right? So those things make a huge difference.
Thanks, Al. That's really helpful. And Natasha, I saw your comment. If can't pass go. If you want to text me or email me the location, I'm happy to do that, and then I can talk with Joao, I guess, and see if we can figure out what's going on there. All right, any last comments or questions before we close up today? Oh, Al, we have a question from Liz about getting furniture from Craigslist.
I love the idea. Absolutely, we can definitely put something like that together.
All right, everyone. So we'll go ahead and end the meeting for our community members today. If you are a service provider and you've signed the HMIS ROI, you're welcome to stay on so we can talk about that priority list. But for the rest of you, thank you for joining us, and we're going to stop the recording now.
Thanks, Landon. Thanks for hosting.
Thank you, Tino.